King Charles III has reportedly used Prince Harry's latest, and arguably most contentious, UK visit as the backdrop for a final, decisive declaration. According to sources within Buckingham Palace, the King has officially and unilaterally stripped the Duke of Sussex of his remaining royal titles and privileges, a decision that allegedly triggered a public and furious tantrum from the prince. This dramatic escalation, long rumored but now said to be a painful reality, marks the point of no return for the estranged royal and his Californian life. It's not just a family feud anymore, it's an outright constitutional crisis, played out on the world stage with the ferocity of a Shakespearean tragedy. This wasn't a quiet, private chat over a cup of tea. Insiders describe a tense, one-on-one meeting between father and son, intended to be a final olive branch from the king. Instead, it became the setting for the ultimate confrontation. The king, apparently exasperated by what he views as Harry's relentless monetization of his royal status and his recent string of public criticisms, presented the Duke with a stark ultimatum. The choice was simple: return to the fold, show genuine contrition, and cease all commercial ventures exploiting his bloodline, or face the consequences. Harry, however, was reportedly blindsided by the severity of the king's words, his legal team's assurances that his titles were untouchable proving to be a naive fantasy. The king's decision was absolute, a final severing of the tie that Harry had so painstakingly tried to have both ways, the freedom of his new life, with the prestige and power of his old. The fallout was immediate and spectacular. Eyewitnesses at the event where Harry was due to appear described a chaotic scene. Instead of a composed and professional appearance, the prince was seen retreating to a private room, a flurry of agitated phone calls to his team and Montecito reportedly following. The tantrum wasn't hidden from view. A high-ranking palace staffer, who requested anonymity for fear of reprisal, described screaming matches and the sound of things being thrown. The image of a grown man, a former military captain and a public figure, completely losing his composure and dignity, is a deeply damaging one. It validates every private concern and public criticism leveled against him, that for all his talk of mental health and inner peace, he is still a prisoner of his own deep-seated rage and entitlement. This wasn't the picture of a man at peace, it was the portrait of a man unraveling. This latest development isn't merely about a name, it's about power and principle. By officially stripping Harry of his titles, King Charles isn't just taking away a ceremonial honorific. He is stripping him of his very currency. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex brand, built on the foundations of their royal connections, now stands on shaky ground. The media narrative, long a battleground for Harry and the palace, has now reached a fever pitch. The tabloids, which Harry has so often condemned, are having a field day, with headlines gleefully proclaiming the end of the Sussex brand. Meanwhile, even those outlets typically sympathetic to the prince's cause are struggling to defend his reported behavior. The public, too, is watching with morbid fascination. Polls conducted in the immediate aftermath of the reports show a significant drop in Harry's already low approval ratings in the UK. The British public has a deep-seated respect for the monarchy as an institution, and the idea of a senior royal using his status to publicly attack and embarrass the family is seen as an unforgivable betrayal. The latest episode has simply confirmed their worst suspicions, that the prince's grievances were never about a desire for privacy, but about a deep and self-serving desire for control and attention. While Harry's camp has predictably remained silent, the reverberations are echoing across the Atlantic. What was once a seemingly unassailable fortress of American public support for the rebel royals is now showing cracks. Even in Hollywood, a town built on drama and reinvention, the image of a prince throwing a tantrum is not one of a hero, but of a spoiled child. The narrative has shifted from one of a courageous figure escaping a toxic system to a self-aggrandizing celebrity who has finally pushed his family too far.